Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namini Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pasyat Desatarini Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tathayam Udirai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. So Manoram Prabhu will present the overview of the 11th chapter, which is entitled Lord Krishna's Entrance into Dwarika. And yes, Prabhu, proceed.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavad Pranam Prabhuji. Okay, I'll start the presentation. So we are here in the 11th chapter of first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, that is Lord Krishna's entrance into Dwarka. So after completion of the first 10 chapters and the last chapters, as was discussed in depth by Manini Mataji, that Lord Krishna, he departed for Dwarka, and now how glorious his entrance into the Dwarkadam has been explained in this particular chapter. But before we move, so just a glimpse of the previous chapter, how we can link, although it is fully understandable that Lord Krishna departed. So as soon as the battle of the Kurukshetra where it was completed, and Lord Krishna, he then wanted to left for Dwarkadam, but before that many things happened, that Krishna wanted Yudhishthira Maharaj and Pandavas to pacify, so they were pacified by Bhishma Dev, and after that Lord Krishna, he also spent few days in Hastinapur to pacify his relatives and specifically his sister. And after that, then taking after taking permission from Yudhishthir Maharaj, Lord Krishna, he wanted to leave for his Dwarkadam. So Yudhishthir Maharaj, although knew that Krishna is the supreme person, but still he arranged 4 layers of security and given horses, elephants, chariots, and army. So with this battalion, Lord Krishna, he started journey towards the Dwarkadam, and in 34 to 35 words, Srila Prabhupada mentioned that there are many places were mentioned through which Lord Krishna was passing through, and in every places he was given due respect with many gifts. And Srila Prabhupada mentioned there that although these places are not very much required, that which places were what at present context, but how Lord Krishna he traveled, because this will be also interesting and connecting to the present chapter. So Srila Prabhupada mentioned that he traveled through Delhi, Punjab, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Saurashtra, and Gujarat, because through this only passing through, then he will come to the border of Dwarka, and then how you will be welcomed will be spoken about. So just for my interest also, I tried to see it on the map, that although Prabhupada cautioned that we need not go through the previous names, but as Srila Prabhupada mentioned in the purport, so through this map, how Lord Krishna moved from Hastinapur to Delhi, then through Punjab, then Rajasthan, then came through Madhya Pradesh and Saurashtra, and finally he entered to his Dham of Dwarka city. So this was the glorious pathways through which Lord Krishna entered, and now we'll try to see how are the excitements of Dwarka Vasis while he was passing through those places.
Very
So
graphical,
again,
very graphical pathway you have drawn.
yes, we see based on Srila Prabhupada's, and he
Okay.
cautioned also, yes, Prabhuji. So, and then Now, at last, passing through those pathways, Krishna will enter to Dwarka. But there are some sub themes that I could draw that from this particular chapter based in your discussion in classes also, Prabhuji. So, first two verses basically, Krishna will blow his conch shell, and it is relevant to his blowing of conch shell. Then third to 10th verses, Dwarkavasis with uh, much interest, they will reach towards Krishna with valuable gifts, and then also they will glorify Lord Krishna. Then 11 to 15, beauty and opulences of Dwarkapuri will be described. And then 16 to 20, Krishna's father relatives, Brahmanas, and even the prostitutes, everyone, they ran towards Lord Krishna to receive him. And those things, in short, will be discussed. And then Lord Krishna, he personally met everyone. He greeted everyone, starting from relatives to every citizen, paid his honor and respect. And 23 to 25, finally, Lord Krishna, he will enter to the city of Dwarka. And what will be the overwhelming response of the every citizens of Dwarka will be again spoken about. 26, 27, then Lord Krishna's glory and transcendental beauty has been spoken in these two verses. And the final section, Lord Krishna's entrance to his father's house, and also his the palaces of his 16,108 queens, and how his mothers will shower his love towards him, and his wives also how they will receive him. So here again in last two verses, some of the transcendental qualities of Lord Krishna also will be spoken. So this is how these sub themes will move. And first, most important, that with lot of excitement, and Lord Krishna is returning to his own dham, and while he was in the border of Dwarka Dham, as has been mentioned by Srila Sut Goswami in first verse. So upon reaching the border of his most prosperous metropolis, known as the country of Anarthas, this is Dwarka, the Lord sounded his auspicious conch shell, heralding all his arrival and apparently pacifying the dejection of the inhabitants. So to the Sanskrit words, this the Damo is sounded, and Dharavaram is the auspicious conch shell. Srila Prabhupada named it as Panchajanya.
It is Dadmo. It's not Dadamo, it is Dadmo.
Dadmo. Yes,
Dadmo.
Prabhupada.
Dadmo Shankha Pramodata. When we see the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, no? Panchajanya Rishikesham Devadatta Dhananjaya. Dadmo Shankha. Dadmo means sounding. Okay. Go ahead.
Yes, Prabhupada. Yes, so Lord Krishna, he has blown his Panchajanya conch shell, and this was how the response of the Dwarkavasis. So Srila Prabhupada has mentioned here that before that, Srila Prabhupada mentioned that when Lord Krishna descends to this earth, so all his eternal associates, they also come and join to take part in his mission. And one of his lecture also, Srila Prabhupada referred Srila Narottam Das Thakur's one of the very important lines, that Gaurangara Sangigane Nitya Siddha Karimane Se Chaya Brajendra Sutapas. So Srila Prabhupada mentioned that Lord Gaurang, who is Lord Krishna himself, so his associates all are the eternal associates. So this is what has been emphasized, and such associate of the Lord are eternally liberated souls. They are called Nitya Siddha, and they cannot bear the separation of Lord even for a moment or nimesh. What was discussed in our class, that it is about half a second. So even for a half a second also, it is very much difficult for the pure devotees or Nitya Siddhas to forget about Lord Krishna. So when Lord Krishna, he blew his conch shell, so those Dwarkavasis, those who are in so much intense desire to see the Lord Krishna, see Lord Krishna, so all of their pains were just gone away by hearing the sound of Lord Krishna's blowing conch shell. In second verse, very important aspects has been spoken about, that Lord Krishna, he has blown his conch shell, which was like a white and fat bowled, but being gripped by the hand of Lord Krishna and sounded by him, it appeared like reddened by touch of his transcendental lips. So, and Srila Prabhupada has given another analogy, that like a white swan, when it plays inside the stems of red lotus flowers, so this analogy has been given. It was like Lord Krishna's blowing the transcendental conch shell, touching his lips, was like a white swan playing inside the stems of red lotus flower. But again, some spiritual significance Srila Prabhupada emphasized here. What does it mean by the redness of the conch shell? By his lip touch. So, Srila Prabhupada says that it's a symbol of spiritual significance. So, as soon as Lord Krishna touched through his red lips, the conch shell, it became reddish and transcendental. So, this was a touch which make it transcendentally red. Similarly, uh, one who comes in touch with Lord Krishna, they also becomes spiritually surcharged. So surcharged, this is what this importance has been spoken. And here, this by spiritual contact with the Lord, everything becomes spiritually reddened like the conch shell in the grip of the Lord. And the Paramahamsas, or the supremely intelligent person, plays the part of ducking swan in the water of spiritual bliss, eternally decorated by the lotus flower of the Lord's feet. So by this example, Srila Prabhupada wanted to again clarify that as this conch shell, it became reddened, transcendentally reddened by coming in touch with Supreme Lord's reddish lips. So similarly, if somebody comes in spiritual association or takes spiritual association, so they also becomes spiritually surcharged. So this is the understanding that I could draw from this. And moving to next in third verse, now the citizens of Dwarka, having heard that sound which threatens fear personified in the material world, they began run towards the Supreme Lord, just to have long desired audience with the Lord, and who is the protector of all devotees. So here again, it has been spoken that Lord Krishna's presence, there were all liberated souls. Dwarkavasis were all liberated souls, and they were in a keen desire to meet Lord Krishna. So when, as soon as they heard the sound of blowing conch shell, they ran towards uh, just to have audience of the Lord Krishna. So here another analogy Srila Prabhupada has made. The sound heralded by Lord Krishna was something like the heralding of the sunrise in the morning. So all the citizens of Dwarka woke from a state of slumber because of the sunrise of Krishna, and they all hasten toward him just to have an audience. So the devotees of the Lord know no one else as their protector. So here it has been spoken that how important it was in Dwarkavashis while Lord Krishna appeared to them, or he was entering to Dwarkadam, as like the darkness in the morning is gone by sun's presence. So it was like that they got their life, the Dwarkavasis, they got their life once Lord Krishna appeared like the sun. So again, their importance has been given about the spiritual sound, and it has been spoken that this is due to our association. So, Srila Prabhupada again spoken about some important aspect here, that the material existence of our present status is full of fear. That is, and out of the four problems, material food problem, shelter problem, prominent one, and this is because of our ignorance and material association. So how to come out from this fear? So we can come out from this fear if we take shelter of the glories of the Supreme Lord, His holy name. And if we chant His holy name, this Maha Mantra, then we can become free from all the material existences and fear of the material existences. And 4 to 5 verses, now it has been spoken that the citizens, they did not come empty-handed. They came with valuable presentations. As per their capacities, they came with valuable presentations. But those presentations are again here analyzed with offering lamp to the sun. But before that, Srila Prabhupada is telling, and in this verse also it was there, that Lord Krishna is Atmaram, he is self-sufficient. So for him, there is no need of getting any gifts from anybody. But if out of love somebody offers him a gift, he very pleasingly accept it. And although these gifts are nothing to him, like offering a lamp to the sun, but still, if it is offered with love, so he accepts happily. So this is what has been spoken in this verse. And the sixth verse, then the Dwarkavasis, they glorified Lord Krishna, speaking about that even the demigods, Brahma and the four sons of Lord Brahma, then King of Heaven, all of them, they worship Lord Krishna, and He is the ultimate rest for everyone. So this is what these transcendental glories they were speaking about in this particular verse. And Prabhupada, he mentioned that Supreme Lord Krishna, he has been confirmed in Brahma Samhita and other authorized literatures also, that how is the Supreme Lord. So this conception the Dwarkavasis they were having, and they glorified the Supreme Lord. They further continued glorifying in 7 verses also, saying that Lord Krishna is the creator of the universe, and he is mother, well-wisher, Lord, Father, spiritual master, everything for them. So by following in your footsteps, we have become successful in every respect. We pray, therefore, that you continue to bless us with your mercy. So this is the glories that they continue it with, and that Sanskrit terms were this Mata, then Surit, Pati, Pita, then Sat Guru, and Paramam. So they glorified Lord Krishna with these pleasing words, and it was genuine words that they have expressed to glorify Supreme Lord. Still, they further continued that it is our good luck that we have come again today to your protection, and that we can see you, we can have your affectionate glances. So this is what Srila Prabhupada here emphasized, that the Lord in his eternal personal form can be seen only by the pure devotees. So the Dwarkavasis were pure devotees. Because of that, they could glorify Lord Krishna in that way, and they also can get personal presence of Lord Krishna. They could see Lord Krishna personally. Even the Lord Brahma and Lord Indra, they could not enter. They cannot enter the Svatdeep, and they had to stand outside of the Milky Ocean to get message of the Supreme Lord. But devotees, how they are very much glorified in these particular verses. So this is the original state of living entities, and can be attained by reviving our natural and constitutional state of life, which is discovered by devotional service. So Srila Prabhupada is mentioned that by devotional service, one can get personal association of Supreme Lord, and this is what has been spoken about. In 9th verse, again they have continued that Lord Krishna's eyes are like a lotus, and whenever he goes away from them to Mathura, Vrindavan, and Hastinapur, so they feels a huge absence of Lord Krishna. It seems to them like a million of years. And as it seems to their eyes that as they are bereft of the sun. So next uh, section 11 to 15. Now, glories, beauty, and opulences of the Dwarkapuris has been spoken about, and here it has been spoken like the Nagluka is protected by Nagas. So Dwarka was protected by the descendant of Vrishni, and who were actually empowered by Lord Krishna. So therefore, they are as strong as Lord Krishna. So how the Dwarkapuri was protected by the descendants of Vrishni. Then in 12, the city of Dwarkapuri was filled with opulences of all seasons, and there are hermitage orchards. So these beauties has been spoken in further verses. In 13th also, the city gateway, the household doors, and festooned arches along with roads were all nicely decorated with festive signs like plantation trees and mango leaves. So as soon as the Dwarkapasis could came to know that Krishna is coming, so they all have decorated very nicely, and like they are like observing a festivals. It was a festivity in the city of Dwarka. Then highways, subways, everything. It was moistened with scented water just to welcome the Supreme Lord Krishna. So in each and every door and residential houses also, it was just they were prepared. Everyone was prepared to welcome the Supreme Lord with their worships, incense and candles, everything. So they prepared. Now in 16 to 20, how Krishna's father relatives, friends, and other Brahmanas, including even the prostitutes, how they welcomed and the approach towards Lord Krishna has been spoken and described. So in 16 to 17, it has been spoken that on hearing that Lord Krishna was approaching Dwarkadham, so magnanimous Vasudev, his father, then Akrur, Ugrasen, Balram, Pradyumna, then Charudeshna and Samba, the son of Jambavati, all were extremely happy, and they abandoned their resting, sitting, and dining. In further verses 18, it has been spoken that everyone then they started moving to receive Lord Krishna. So they were accompanied by the Brahmanas bearing flowers, and also with elephants and conch shells, bugles. They all approached chanting the Vedic hymns and offered their respect, which were saturated with affection. So everyone they ran towards Lord Krishna with this accompany, and they wanted to receive Lord Krishna. So in 19th verse, it has been spoken. Same time, many hundreds of well-known prostitutes also they came to receive the Supreme Lord Krishna. And here Srila Prabhupada has mentioned one very important thing, that by tricks of chance, one may be obliged to adopt a profession which is not very admirable in society, but that does not hamper one in executing devotional service to the Lord. Devotional service to the Lord is uncheckable in all circumstances. Srila Prabhupada is wanting to tell here that anyone can take participation in devotional service and purify the existence. It does not matter what was one's social position maybe previously, but if one takes shelter of devotional service, then one can rectify and purify their existence. And he mentioned 9.32 words also, which was spoken that anyone can, even the chandalas also, they can perfect their life by taking shelter of the Supreme Lord and devotional service. So in 21 to 22nd, now as everyone came with enthusiasm to meet with Krishna, now Krishna also, he reciprocated. So he personally met each and everyone, his friends, relatives, whosoever they came to receive him, and he offered his due honor and respect. In 21st, it was spoken that the personality of Godhead approached them and offered due honor and respect to each and every one of them. So Srila Prabhupada mentioned that the pure devotees are of one type only, because they have no other object for service but the Lord. So their only aim is the Supreme Lord, and therefore the Lord also reciprocates with such pure devotees, just as it behoves, namely, he is always attentive to all the matters of his pure devotees. So it has been again spoken that how Dwarkavasis, the pure devotees, were very much dear to Lord Krishna, and that is how he actually met with everyone and reciprocated. So in next 20 seconds also, okay, so he greeted everyone, bowing his head, exchanging greetings, embracing, and looking smiling, giving assurance, and providing benedictions also. So now Lord Krishna is reciprocating here again with everyone, Vasudev, Ugrasen, Garg Muni, those who came to receive him with the Brahmanas and the themes. So in 23 to 25, Lord Krishna's entrance to city of Dwarka and overwhelming response of every citizen. So now Lord Krishna will move towards the Dwarka city in the roads of Dwarka. So when Lord Krishna passed over the public road, all the ladies from the respectable family of Dwarka went up to their roofs of their palaces just to have a look at the Lord. They considered this to be the greatest festival. So, like in previous chapter also, all the ladies they went up to the roof with fully teary-eyed, and they although they did not wanted to give farewell to Lord Krishna. So here they were actually sad, but here out of happiness, everyone went out to the roofs and they just wanted to have a look of Supreme Lord. So, Srila Prabhupada actually again spoke about that how the festivities in the temple are observed. This is also like in the same spirit to the spirit of Dwarka Vashis, the ladies, they were actually having Lord Krishna, receiving Lord Krishna. So, festivities in the temple of Lord where the Archa Vigrahas is established as is generally held, unlike festivals performed during the many festive days of the Lord of Dwarka about 5,000 years. So this is how the procession went on. And in 25th, the inhabitants of Dwarka were regularly accustomed to look upon the reservoir of all beauty, the infallible Lord, yet they were never satiated. Another important principle Srila Prabhupada mentioned here that for a devotee, what is the situation? So for Dwarkavasis, although it for them it seems that they never seen Lord Krishna previously because they never become satiated. Like in material things, if we do one thing repeatedly, we becomes bored. We do not want to do this again. But spiritual subject matter is such enlightening that if one situates in real spirit, then he never becomes satiated. So this is what Srila Prabhupada mentioned, and the Dwarkavasis, they are feeling that they never met Lord Krishna previously. It was seeming to them as relishable once again. So they just wanted to have a look of Lord Krishna. And in this way, now the Lord Krishna's glory and his transcendental beauty will be spoken in 26 and 27 verse while he was passing through the city of Dwarka. So it has been spoken that in 26, the Lord chest is the abode of goddess of fortune. His moon-like face is the drinking vessel for eyes, which hanker after all that is beautiful. His arms as the resting places for the administrative demigods, and lotus feet are refuge for pure devotees who never talk of or sing of any subject except his lordship. So Srila Prabhupada here again wanted to emphasize that the devotees are satisfied with being placed at the lotus feet of the Lord and having no ambition to see his all beautiful face or aspire for the protection of the strong arms of the Lord. So here the glories has been spoken also in next verse that as the Lord passes along the public road of Dwarka, his head was protected from sunshine using a white umbrella, white feathered fans moved, and his yellow garment and garlands of flower made it appears as if a dark cloud were surrounded simultaneously by sun, moon, lightning, and rainbows. Srila Prabhupada again has emphasized here that how Lord Krishna is different. He is transcendental, all potent. So in naturally, the sun, moon, rainbow, lightning, they never appear simultaneously. But Lord Krishna's presence was so much glorious that it seemed that all appeared at a time. So his yellow garments and flowers appearing like dark cloud surrounded by simultaneous sun, moon, lightning, and rainbow. So these potencies has been spoken in this verse again. And now further moving to the next section, 28 to 39, Lord Krishna, he will now enter to his father's house, also his own palace, and then how his mother's love affection will be there, also his wife's affection. And while describing so, some of the important transcendental qualities of Lord Krishna also again will be spoken. So in 28, after entering the house of first, he entered to his father's house. He embraced by his mothers, and after he embraced, then he offered his obeisances by placing his head at their feet, and all his mothers, including his real mother Devaki and stepmothers, everyone they showed equal affection towards Lord Krishna, and Lord Krishna also uh, 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 put his respect, showed his respect equal to everyone of them. And in 29, then after the mothers, they embraced Lord Krishna, they let him sit on their laps, and this how the exchanges moved on. In 30 verse, now again, Lord Krishna will now enter to every palaces of 16,108 wives palaces. He entered personally, and here again, Srila Prabhupada mentioned that Lord Krishna had 16,108 wives, and for each and every one of them, there was a fully equipped palace, complete with necessary compounds and garden. Next verse, Srila Prabhupada will mention Krishna's another quality. So the queens of Lord Krishna rejoiced with their minds to see their husband, whom after a long day, and then they got up from their seat and meditations. In this that way they received Lord Krishna. But here Srila Prabhupada mentioned one of Lord Krishna's potency, that at a time he expanded in 16,108 plenary expansions, and simultaneously he entered in every queen's palaces. So this is his potency here has been spoken. One should know therefore that the Lord is never on the level of the living beings, who are but expansion of his marginal potency, and one should never equalize the potent and the potency. Although there is very different, little difference, the quality of the between the two. So the queen of Lord Krishna were all in meditation, thinking the Lord's absence, and were always meditating upon him. So here Srila Prabhupada again mentioned that Lord's devotee cannot live for a moment without meditating on the Lord. And what to speak about the queens, who are all goddess of fortune, incarnated as queens in the pastimes of Lord at Dwarka. So here another thing, just from the part, I found some link that how all were very much enthusiastic, and they were so much in patience that yes, Lord Krishna will come after a while and they can meet. So regarding Bhakti Yoga in 6.24, Parpat Srila Prabhupada mentioned that how Bhakti is performed, it is all with Utsaha and Dharya. So all the queens were, or all the Dwarkavasis were in that position. So they are all with Utsaha to receive Lord Krishna after a while, and in between they are also maintaining their patience when Lord Krishna was away from them. So passing through 5 verses next, in 32, the insuperable ecstasy was so strong that queens who were shy first, how they actually received Lord Krishna. First of all, they received Lord Krishna in the inner hearts, and then they embraced him visually. after that they sent their sons to embrace the Lord Supreme Lord Krishna, and in that way they were restraining their feelings, although inadvertently they were shedding tears. So some qualities of women also Srila Prabhupada mentioned here is shyness, but still they were so much in connection with Lord Krishna. So they were with heart actually they received Lord Krishna. And in 36 verse onwards, some of the transcendental qualities of the Supreme Lord also will be spoken about. So here in translation, all the queen's beautiful smiles and glances were all spotless and exciting, and although they could conquer the cupids, but still it could not agitate the senses of the Lord. So one important quality of the Supreme Lord is has been spoken here, that he is never uh, so in just a moment. Okay, so here it has been spoken that although their glances were all beautiful, but their senses could not agitate the senses of the Supreme Lord. So this is very important, that many times we can think that we can conquer the Supreme Lord or bring under our control, but it is never possible because he is out of all those. So and here again has been spoken that the queens could not satisfy the Lord by their feminine attractiveness, but they satisfied him by their sincere affection and service. So only by unalloyed transcendental loving service would they satisfy the Lord, and the Lord was pleased to treat them as wives in reciprocation. So this important quality has been spoken, that the Supreme Lord can only be conquered by the devotional service and love and no other way. So continuing in 37, the common materialistic conditioned soul, they speculate that Lord's presence was, the Lord is one of them. Out of their ignorance, they think that Lord is affected by matter, but it is never the truth. And in 38, this is the divinity of the personality of Godhead. He is not affected by the qualities of material nature, even though he is in contact with them. Similarly, the devotees who have taken shelter of the Lord do not become influenced by the material qualities. So here Srila Prabhupada mentioned that the divinity and his associates are on same transcendental plane, and their glories are always sanctified the action of Yogmaya or the internal potency of the Lord. So the devotees of the Lord are always transcendental, even if they are sometimes found to have fallen in their behavior. So, and then I think in next verse, this is the last verse, it has been spoken that a simple and delicate woman truly thought that the Lord Krishna, their beloved husband, followed them and was dominated by them. They are unaware of the extent of the glories of their husband. And atheists are unaware about Supreme Lord's supreme position. So here actually we can misunderstand also that that the queens of Supreme Lord, they cannot control the Supreme Lord. uh, but it was not the fact actually. Even the transcendental wives of the Lord Krishna did not know completely the unfathomable glories of the Lord. This ignorance is not mundane, because there is some action of the internal potency of the Lord in the exchange of feelings between him and eternal associates. So he plays exactly like a husband in the presence of queens of Dwarka. Such devotees of the Lord never think of the Lord as supreme, but think of him exactly as a common friend. So they, although their thought was that they conquered the Supreme Lord, but again here Srila Prabhupada is clarifying that they were actually under the spell of Yug Maya. So even though they are not aware about the supremacy of the Supreme Lord, and thinking that they could conquer, but it was not the case. So this much, I think, from this. So there are many things, but just some of the few things I have covered. So in above 2-3 verses, what has been spoken, that the renunciation characteristics of Lord Krishna has been discussed. Out of the 6 qualities, we know the Bhagwan, how the Bhagwan is defined. Out of these, one is renunciation. So even though Lord Krishna has everything, and so he is not under control of anyone, because he is always in renunciation. So even though he is having everything, and Lord Krishna always remained self-satisfied because he is Atmaram. So I think this is what a small presentation, Prabhuji. I missed many things. It was there and I just mentioned the slides, but due to time constraint, I have mentioned so much. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
It seems that you have made us enter Dwarka. With you, we entered Dwarka. Very graphic, very beautiful pictures. I don't know from where you got all these pictures. You presented the effect of the sounding of the conch shell, also red, and that swan which is playing on the red lotus flowers. Amazing. Impeccable. Every day your presentation is becoming, it is like the maturing and the ripening of the mango. It is becoming more sweet and more relishable. In the morning, I had a class that was also, I talk about the Ashtbharyas. We have always talked about Ashtgopis and Ashtmanjaris. So thank you very much again for bringing me again into the consciousness of Dwarika. Many devotees from our temple went to Dwarika, but I really doubt any one of them had this consciousness. This is how we should enter Dwarika. Very well presented. Immaculate. पुरुषोत्तम, आप बताइए कहाँ इन्होंने सही प्रेजेंट किया और कहाँ और बेटर कर सकते थे? कुछ सजेशंस बोलिए इसको।
हरे कृष्णा को एक्चुअली हमने चैप्टर पढ़ा नहीं था, बट कुछ कुछ जगह एक्चुअली हमने नया पढ़ा कि द्वारकावासी कैसे भगवान का वेलकम कर रहे थे। वो बहुत अच्छा लगा। जो
नहीं यार, ऐसे ओवरव्यू नहीं होता है। ओवरव्यू प्रॉपर तरीके से करो। प्रणव, यू डू द ओवरव्यू।
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Actually, Prabhuji, I joined late. After 9, I joined. I could not hear the whole lecture.
ओके सोनिका, यू डू।
Prabhuji, sorry, I also joined late, Prabhuji, today.
Okay, I'll do the review. I'm very pleased. It was the perfect way to present that you perfected by showing Srila Prabhupada's translation and also the purports. It was a complete presentation with complete emphasis on Srila Prabhupada's purport. Nothing was spoken from anywhere else. That is very good. That is what we should always be doing. Good. If we try to bring anything from our own mental platform, then the purity and the parampara is lost. Very good. And you were very transparent. You were showing it on the screen. So that is very good, very impeccable. But still, I would say data content was very heavy. Try to keep it a little less because you presented everything. And secondly, one area, the third verse. Show the slide of the third verse. After the heralding of the conch shells, the sound, Sri Prabhupada is glorifying the transcendental sound. Yeah, yes, here. Come down. Two examples were given. One was of the rising of the sun and the ignorance is dissipated and come down. And then it was how the fear can be, one can be freed from the fear. So Prabhupada is saying here that there is no difference. The sound of the Lord is identical with the Lord. and we have tried to explain by the non-dual position of the Lord. Okay. So here it is said that by chanting the holy name, so that fear in the heart can be completely eliminated. And how it is to be eliminated? By chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. You had full Hare Krishna Mahamantra present here, and you did not recite. This is not acceptable. That means one is not convinced by the transcendental sound. What kind of chanter we are? We have the opportunity to chant and make everyone chant and hear the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and we are avoiding it. This should never happen. Okay, you can close the share. I'm just, sharing with you. This is how we have to approach and how we have to preach. As many times as we can chant and make the audience also chant. Never miss such an opportunity. Even if the opportunity is not there, create such an opportunity. But when the opportunity is there, it can never be missed. It should never be missed. On the whole, I found it very, very lucid, very appropriate. You have done hard work, not hard work. Hard work is done by donkeys. It has no meaning. We have to do hard work. Devotees have to do hard work. They have to connect their heart with Krishna. And then Krishna's rasa flows. Very well presented. It was within the time range also. You completed within 45 minutes. That is very good. It should not take more than 45 minutes. And some aspect of what we discussed in the class should also have been, I would have liked that also should have been integrated. Good that your emphasis was on purpose, but some aspects that we discussed in the class should also have been there. Some discussion or some learning or some, examples that we took should be there. Like one example was there, as you spoke about that the sun and the moon and the rainbow and the cloud, everything coming together. There is one example. I think I must have given that example. That it is there in Chaitanya Leela also, where the sun and the moon is rising together. Anyone knows? That is the prayer for Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda. Vande Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Suhodito. Gaudodaya Pushpavanto Chitro Samudotama Manodaya. So Nityanand and Mahaprabhu, they are like the sun and the moon. But on the horizon of Gauda, both are rising together. The sun and the moon can never rise together in the material existence. It happens only in the spiritual existence. Okay, but overall, very, very convincing. Not just convincing, spiritually very uplifting. As I said, I felt like that we were witnessing the scene of Krishna entering Dwarka. Thank you very much for your very genuine effort. And by such presentations, I would like to, hear and participate more and more from your presence. You should be doing it. So many times I have told you. But I don't know why you are not giving importance to it. You should genuinely preach and keep other things aside. And I can guarantee you, if you do that, the favor of the Supreme Lord that you will receive, it will be millions of times more than what you are doing existingly now. But the problem with this is that we are still not convinced. Our heart is still not accepting what Krishna is, desiring from us. For us, our plan, our agenda is more important than whatever may be the Krishna's plan or agenda. So we should gradually shift and leave our attachments, leave our conceptions, leave our own proposals. They are all useless. It has no meaning, it has no value. It is only sucking our energy and our opportunity. Okay, I don't want to be heavy on that. But my request to you is please think about it. start preaching, start presenting every, as I told you, start presenting for every chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam. We can make video and post it on our IERI group, and then also, public viewing. It will help so many devotees to get the overview of Srimad Bhagavatam. It will be a great service. Start with Bhagavad Gita. I told you this year of 2025, at least design 18 chapters. Before 2025 is completed, you make a presentation on the 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. You have to do what you have done here. There is no need to bring anything else or extrapolate or interpolate anything. As you did today, the same way. Everything is there. The shloka is, the entire verse was there. In some of them, you put the important word-to-word meaning also. Then the translation, and followed by the major portion of the important portion of the purport, not the entire purport. Yeah, and with the explanation, with your commentary. Commentary in a sense with your presentation, not commentary, with your presentation. So it will help many souls. And if you do that, Krishna says, Ya idam paramam guhyam mad bhakteshu abhitishyati. Bhakti mai param kritva. That is our hope. That if we help someone, if we assist someone to progress in devotion, we will become the recipient of Krishna's mercy. Why don't you do that? Krishna has given you such skills, such intelligence. Please utilize it in Krishna's service. Don't let it go waste. Hare Krishna. Others, devotees, please speak. Don't repeat. Speak from your heart. What touched you, you just genuinely express that. Quickly, bolo. Yes, there should be.
Yeah. First of all, thank you, Manoram Prabhu, for sharing sound
Bolo,
sharing
bolo.
this presentation. So it was very nice. What I observed, Prabhuji, that while he was presenting the verses, individual verses, there actually in each of the verses, Srila Prabhupada, from that purpose, translation, Srila Prabhupada has given some practical aspect of that. I mean, why this is happening? Many of the things,
Give
like
example. Yeah.
like Prabhuji, he told that the Dwarkavasi they could able to have audience of the Supreme Lord directly. So Srila Prabhupada wrote that it is because they are pure devotee, and because also he mentioned that only by pure devotional service only one can have the audience of the Lord. So it was very striking, and Prabhuji, that as you told, that graphics are very nice. I mean, it was like very well quality, so much quality was there. So that should be the standard of presentation. And in one of the just little bit just a query, simple query, that why Lord he gave means he has respect to all them. I think some of the obeisance also he paid obeisance to all that. So is it because of that Lord wanted to show that one should respect the elders? Because of that, he told something I could not see that. I could not remember that. He showed respect and obeisance to all of them, whoever present. So little bit if he can clarify. The presentation was very nice, and he covered all the purport as you mentioned. And this was very. I mean, I was also feeling that whole picture of the qualities of the Lord. What is his qualities? How he looks like? I mean, very detail was there. I mean, like it's going before us. Everything was. I mean, his quality, whatever how he working, his beauty, everything has been mentioned. His relationship with the friends, all his relatives, everything was there. So nicely he presented. So, thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Please reply to his query.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. So Thank you so much, Prabhuji. I think this was from uh, verse number 21st. You have just inquired about. So, whosoever came to receive Lord Krishna reciprocated with each one. It has been mentioned, but as some elderly people are also there, including some of the Brahmanas, although it was mentioned about invalid Brahmanas, but those who are very old. So Lord Krishna paid his obeisances, his respect to them, but then he honored everyone, each and everyone. So I think as per the seniority or as per the grades, he has paid his obeisances and his honor. So it was based upon one's position. Maybe if some were very senior, so he paid his obeisances, but he shaked his hand with each and everyone and he honored everyone. So that is what I think I could understand. Yes, okay.
Yes, very good. You see the
Thank
verse? See the verse, the 21st verse? It says, Yatha Vidhi, according to the rank and position. No, he didn't pay obeisances to everyone. See the translation? The translation says that Lord Krishna duly honored everyone and properly greeted them in terms of their rank and position by bowing, then greeting, embracing, shaking hands, looking, smiling, assuring, and awarding benedictions. When he is awarding benedictions, how can he pay obeisances? Technically, you have to be sound. Don't just speak what the inquirer is asking. You don't have to support him. You have to give the inquirer the clarity of the Shastra. Show the verse where it is saying that he is paying obeisances to everyone.
Prabhuji, he did not paid his obeisances to everyone.
This is what he was saying. He reciprocated with everyone. This is the right word.
Yeah.
No, show the verse,
Yes, Prabhu.
not this. You have not shown the verse here, no? The verse is not there.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Show the Sanskrit verse and the translation and the word meaning. Anyway, you can check it. So he reciprocated with everyone. This is very important. This is what Krishna's quality is. That he reciprocates with everyone, each and every individual. See, Bhagavan Tatra Bandhunam Pauranam Anuvartinam Yathavidhi Upasangamya Sarvesham Manam Adhate. So the translation. Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead, approached them and offered due honor and respect to each and every one of the friends, relatives, citizens, and other who came to receive and welcome him. Yes, this verse is saying it. Next verse. The Almighty Lord greeted everyone present by bowing his head, exchanging greetings. These are for different sects of people. See? Bowing his head is, as you said, is this for the elders, like Vasudeva and Prabhu is mentioning here. Come down. To receive the Lord Krishna, there were all grades of operation according to rank and position, beginning from Vasudeva, Ugrasen, and Gargamuni, the father, grandfather, and teacher, down to the prostitutes and chandalas who were accustomed to eat dog. And every one of them was properly greeted by the Lord in terms of rank and position. So, for the elders Vasudeva, Ugrasen, and Gargamuni, he bowing his head, then exchanging greetings with those who were on his equal terms. Like Akrur will be there, Udhava will be there. Yeah. He would be embracing others and shaking hands, looking and smiling. So in this way, even to the lowest in rank, even to the, as you said, that those who are dog eaters, or even you mentioned about the prostitute. Krishna never ignores anyone. This is his quality that he reciprocates with everyone. Ye yatha mam prapadyante. Okay, close it. Is it clear to you?
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. It's
Prabhu?
clear. It is clear, Prabhuji. Clear.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing. When the presenter is presenting, you should have your book in your hand and you should be going through every verse and every purport. At least I would try to do that. You should not be spaced out either उधर कुछ करने में. Otherwise, you will miss. And if you do that, you will receive his knowledge also. You will become the recipient of what he has realized or what he has gained. Very simple. How do we have realizations and knowledge? By hearing from those who have. Whatever you did not spend so much of time in preparation, but if you hear attentively and you be on the same page as to what he is, you receive his experience. Very simple is that. But the problem with the conditioned soul is he is so foolish and he's so spaced out that he always misses the opportunity. So that we should try to avoid. Okay. Yes, anyone else? We're getting late, but quickly. Those who have any genuine question. Yes, Ramya, boliye.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. You have explained very nicely. And in the purport number 2, today I could able to understand this analogy, what Srila Prabhupada have given, that how the consul and the swans are compared. Thank you, Prabhuji. And Prabhuji, I have one not doubt, but I don't know this. What is the Dwarka city is also known as Anarthas. What is the meaning of Anarthas?
Yeah, I also read that. Dwarka city is also known as Anartha. What it means? Did you find out? Which verse was this?
First verse, Prabhuji.
Which verse?
First one, verse number 1.
Verse number 1. Anyway, we'll have to do some research to find out. Okay. Anyone else? Boliye, quickly, if somebody has any question or any comment. Who is having the 12th chapter? Who is to present the 12th chapter? Dayashil? Where is he? तुम सबसे पहले भागने के चक्कर में क्यों रहते हो? That day I came to the IARI, you came after me and you left before me. I was just wondering here, where are you spaced out? अभी सुबह मॉर्निंग में चैंटिंग हो रहा है ना या नहीं हो रहा है? 16 नहीं हो रहा है अभी, मैं देखा वो चेंज होने लगा धीरे धीरे, वो कंडीशनिंग वापस आने लगी. 16 जब तक होए नहीं, हिलो नहीं, कुछ मत खाओ, कुछ मत करो, होने लगेगा. पुरुषोत्तम तो 20 कर रहे हैं भैया. टाइमिंग देख लेना, 7 मिनट से पहले आप में से किसी की भी माला नहीं हो सकती, संभव नहीं है. और अगर आपको ऐसा हो रहा है तो मन के मिस हो रहे हैं, 108 नहीं हो रहा है. कभी भी चेक कर लेना, अपना मोबाइल फोन का रिकॉर्डिंग ऑन करो और पूरा माला करो, देखो टाइम कितना हुआ है, उसके बाद रिकॉर्डिंग खोल के माले गिन लो, क्लियर हो जाएगा क्या कर रहे हैं. 2-4 बार रिकॉर्डिंग सुन लो.
till 7:45.
हाँ
Chanting till 7:45.
हाँ, नहीं ये हमें चेक करनी चाहिए. अपनी रिकॉर्डिंग 2-4 बार चेक करते रहना. अपनी रिकॉर्डिंग चेक करते रहो, आप दिख जाएगा क्या कर रहे हैं, क्या बोल रहे हैं, कितना बोल रहे हैं और क्या बोल रहे हैं, वो सब सुनाई देगा. ये सब लगेगा नहीं कि ये मैं बोल रहा हूँ, ये बोलेगा कौन के चैंटिंग कर रहे हैं. अपनी चैंटिंग को ही स्वीकार नहीं करेंगे. ओके, इट इज गेटिंग लेट. थैंक यू वेरी मच. बोलो, कल देते हो आप?
मैं प्रभु जी मंडे दे दूंगा. मंडे
क्या
को.
मतलब सीधे 4 दिन टाल दिया तुमने? अभी तक कुछ नहीं किया क्या? 1 महीना हो गया. कितने
मंडे
दिन हो
को
गए?
दे दूंगा.
When did I give this assignment? मनोराम प्रभु, एटलीस्ट 20 days तो हो गए हैं. मंडे में हो नहीं.
Chapter 12 is for Pradeep Prabhu, allotted for Pradeep Prabhu.
प्रदीप प्रभु, यू आर रेडी?
No, Prabhu, 13 Prabhu ji, mera 13.
का 13th है. अरे मुझे पता है ना, दिया मुझे पता है, उनको दिया था मैंने। वो अभी मुस्कुरा रहा है। अब करना सोचेगा कि क्या करूं। मंडे आई एम ट्रैवलिंग ना, फ्रॉम
हाँ
संडे ट्रैवलिंग।
मंडे को जाएगा।
मंडे आई वोंट बी अवेलेबल भाई। फ्रॉम संडे आई वोंट बी अवेलेबल।
Yeah.
Okay, let us see. Okay, thank you very much, Manoram Prabhu. And as I told you, you please pray to Krishna and start presenting. You start with Bhagavad Gita introduction. Okay, first do preface. First do a presentation on the preface. There is a lot in preface. If you do it diligently, please do it in preface and share it to me. And then we will do the introduction and then we'll do the chapters. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. Please hear today's lecture. Today's lecture was on Krishna's, how he married the princess, on Krishna's 8 wives. None of you, I think, shared also. None of you cared to hear the lecture. किसी ने नहीं सुना सुबेरे? None of you. All glories to you. Thank you.